Tonight I wanna see the bright lights over me. Show me something magical. Show me everything I want and more. The best of the good life.
This weekend on Top Billing, rugby has brought Springbok and Wasps midfielder Juan de Jongh fame, good fortune, and now his dream bride Simone Lawrence. Husband and wife photographic arts team John and John Baloyi get to the bottom of why a home got turned on its head at the Upside Down House. Model Marla Bryan's doll business thrives and diversifies while she shows off her Caribbean cooking skills. It's the Battle of the Philippines as Top Billing's Dr. Faizan Kize wins hearts and minds en route to the finals of Mr. World 2019. And your presenter this week, Harmony Katolondi, brings you the show from the best of the Hamptons and French Provençal living in the heart of Africa.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Top Billing. Springbok rugby player Juan de Jongh made a career out of his world-famous sidestep. In fact, the longest anyone has ever seen him take a straight line was the day he and his fiancée Simone Lawrence walked down the aisle.
Back in the Boerland for their wedding, the couple have enjoyed 2 happy years at British rugby club Wasps. Juan has re-signed for 2 more years, and with their now 6-month-old baby daughter Emily, the family is sitting pretty.
I believe it was rugby that brought your 2 beautiful souls together.
Yeah, I must say, me and Simone, we met in 2012. We became good friends. I was at the Stormers at the time. She was also in rugby. And then we started dating a couple of years after that, 2016. And yeah, the rest is history.
You recently added a cute new addition to the family. What has parenting been like?
Being a parent is truly a blessing, and Emily brings so much joy into our lives. Just seeing her grow and learn new things every day, and watching her develop her own little personality is just something special.
I'm sure she's going to look like an absolute delight on the day. But let's talk more about rugby and the upcoming Rugby World Cup. What tips do you have for the Springboks?
Tips, I'm sure the boys are well prepared. When it comes to a Rugby World Cup, if you're not going to be prepared at all, you might as well just stay at home. So I was privileged enough to go to the World Cup in 2011, and it's an unbelievable occasion. I've got ex-teammates and friends still in the squad, and I just wish them all the best, and hopefully they can bring the cup home.
A human resources honours graduate, for now, Simone is embracing the stay-at-home mom role.
What are some of the standout qualities that brought the 2 of you together?
Juan is the most humble person that I know. No matter what he's achieved in life, he's always stayed grounded and the same person. And then also his sense of humor. He's quite a funny guy and loves to crack a joke.
Yeah, Simone, she's a lovable person. She's super smart, very motivated, inspires me a lot in a lot of things. And she keeps me grounded a lot of the times, working on my bad habits. But she's also super sexy.
The bride's composed nature shows in her decision to go with this venue and with wedding planner Samantha Dutoy after just 1 meeting. From there on, it was all via email and WhatsApp.
Samantha, you've worked on many weddings before, and I believe Simone has been one of the easiest brides to work with.
She was. The first time I met with Simone and Juan was at Landscape. This is where I got the brief of what they wanted. She gave me her color scheme, which is blush, white, and a bit of green, and then rose gold. The tables we kept naked because they have these beautiful wooden oak tables. So we brought like a soft jewel runner to give that flowy, romantic feel. The decor elements we kept very minimal with the big flower arrangement in the middle.
Anmar Vilding's cake was designed for an uncomplicated couple with an appetite for life.
Anmar, a cake is always one of the centerpieces at a wedding, and this 3-tier design, I'm sure, packs some surprises.
A cake certainly is the centerpiece of the wedding reception, except for the bride. It's the first thing people look at. This one specifically is in the middle of the dance floor, so when the people walk in, it's going to be the first thing they see. The design is pretty simplistic to match the decor and the flowers, but inside it's absolutely dramatic, so it's all white, and when you cut it, it's going to have that contrast of the darkened milk chocolate, vanilla and carrot cake at the top, which is going to be spectacular and create a great contrast.
The bridesmaids were the first to see the gown, bought in Shakespeare's hometown of Stratford.
So the big day has finally arrived for you. Tell me about the dress you'll be wearing.
So I really wanted a flowy, very whimsical dress. So it's a A-line design with a silver beaded bodice onto a flounced skirt. It has a V-neck neckline and a low V-back. The tiered skirt is comprised of layers of soft tulle with a tight waist onto a court train.
Her bridesmaids were a vision in dusty pink and gold, while the dapper groom prepared in a local rugby museum.
Do you think that Juan intentionally planned his wedding to be in the World Cup Rugby month?
Knowing Juan, he never does planning off the cuff. He's always intricate with planning, a little bit of a perfectionist at times. So I would say 70-30% this was planned because everyone knows that green and gold meant a lot to him in his life.
John, how would you compare this feeling to one of your big rugby games?
For me, it's kind of similar. I mean, I've played in front of 80,000, 90,000 people, but the nerves is the same, the excitement is the same. I just finally want to make it official. A lot of planning is going into this day, making sure that Simone, my wife-to-be, is going to be super excited, super happy, and I can't wait to put that pen on paper and finally tell her she's my wife.
Simone looks, I think, stunning, and Juan. And the whole time I've been asking him, what do you think what's going through Juan's head the moment she was walking down? And I think it's a million things, but we're enjoying every single moment and all the effort that they put in. And I mean, like the pastor said, it's about two people coming together.
With a blessing of father of the bride, Peter Lawrence, and friends like Southern Kings fly half Kurt Coleman.
Oh man, how is it that you know the couple?
I've known John for a couple of years now. I've played with him for maybe 8-9 years already, before he moved overseas. And then obviously met Simone through Juan, and yeah, now we're here.
And how are you feeling seeing your man out here on his wedding day on this big moment?
I'm not going to lie, I maybe got a little bit emotional, but I'm so glad for them. I wish them all of the best for the future, and yeah.
He's your bride, my brother.
Do you have any special words for the newlyweds?
Yeah, well, I wish them all the best for their marriage, Joanne and Simone. I wish them all the success in their marriage, that they stick together through testing times and just enjoy all the good times and just always support each other.
With Juan having lived in Stellenbosch and Simone having studied here, many of their friends are from the neighborhood.
What do you think of the evening so far?
Hey my man, it's a fantastic evening though. I'm loving it. I can share this special moment with him. I feel really honored. And yeah, I adore him. He's a fantastic guy, him and Simone. I love them to bits.
We can see that they're deeply in love with each other. And I mean, to share this moment and this evening with them just make it so much more special.
Do you have any words for them on this special day?
You have to always stand by each other, you have to always respect each other, and you should always view your relationship as a partnership, and then it will always be deemed for success.
Marrying Simone was on par with scoring a World Cup try, and the feeling was mutual.
Mr. and Mrs. de Jongh, how does it feel? How's the night been?
Brilliant, I must say. Finally, to get this thing in my hand, call her my wife, it's an amazing feeling. I mean, just enjoy the time with our friends and family, makes it super special. I want to take these memories, enjoy it for as long as you possibly can. Remember, yeah, it's brilliant stuff.
Was the night everything that you expected it to be?
It was beyond all my expectations. It was so amazing just spending time with our friends and family.
What are the future plans for the two of you?
Oh, we're taking it year by year. We don't want to take too much time and think too far ahead, and we'll see what the future holds. So every day is a blessing, every year is a blessing, but I'm enjoying the blessing with a special woman now.
Brexit or no Brexit, the couple will play whatever's in front of them in the UK, an approach that's already taken them far.
Rugby seems to be a complete way of life. A sport so many can play, a fantastic career with travel opportunities, and a matchmaking service that some should try.
Next, John Baloyi finds the future of art photography in old-school film cameras, and gravity flies out the window at the Upside Down House. Husband and wife creative team John and Itumeleng Baloyi are bringing a new perspective to photography, using old-school cameras and film. From social media to big brand campaigns, John is in big demand for his images, the kind which demand the focus and discipline of working with pre-digital equipment.
John Baloyi is an internationally recognized photographer known for his incredible images with nature as his backdrop, which he says gives him perfect lines. But today, he dropped me a location next to a highway in a burnt field. And there he is. Let's see what he can do. Man, this is really gonna mess up my shoes.
Wanting his work to exist outside of the internet and rather in people's homes as art, John focuses on portraying people in a relatable way.
Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, man, how are you?
Hey, bro. Bro, first of all, this location, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, why not? I mean, look at this place. It's really interesting. It's really cool. The burnt grass just adds a cool element to it. And I thought, I mean, mess around with color, it would be dope. And also, what are those, dude?
Bro, you know, when you said field, I didn't think you meant bird field.
Well, I should have.
Don't film the shoes like it's over.
I should have warned you guys.
You've also worked with leading brands and have been featured in so many magazines. How has your career flown so fast in such a short space?
Now, I started shooting in 2013. That was when I was introduced to Instagram from the guys like I See a Different You. I saw those guys and I was really inspired to tell my own story in a visually. And from there on, I just decided to quit my own job. I was an auto electrician, like an engineer. I quit that to do photography. And from there, it just grew. I got emails from brands to say, hey, we like your style, we want to work with you. And that's what got me here. Most people today used to like using digital cameras and things like that, which is cool, but it just gives you that instant gratification, which sort of loses the moment of everything else. So I just try preserve like the actual moment, and what better way than doing it in film?
I mean, the look is so vintage, and even you have to like wind the things, and you have to make sure that everything is so it's so precise.
Yeah.
Even the thing is inverted on the inside, the image is inverted on the inside. It's almost as if we captured a moment of time, like we stepped back into the 1970s. Wow.
His wife Itumeleng is his favorite subject.
You know, you're actually one of the inspiration and the backbone behind his great mastery. How has the journey been with you guys?
It's been an interesting journey. I mean, we started as creatives because we wanted to tell stories. And we, at some point, found ourselves being distracted by the commercial space, you know, fashion, lifestyle, glitz, glam. But we found our way back, and I'm grateful for that. It's been challenging trying to make that transition into the art space again, but it's been fun. And for our partnership to translate in our art as well, for our chemistry, because our work is also very much about love. Yeah, it's been amazing. Challenging, but amazing.
Bro, I think I've earned my stripes when it comes to reflecting. But may I please have the honor of taking a picture with your gorgeous baby?
Sure. There's literally one more shot left in there, so don't mess it up. But yeah, no pressure.
Talk about no pressure. But can you teach me?
All right, cool, yeah.
I think the first part is putting it up here, right?
Yeah, just for safekeeping.
Well, yeah. I thought it was for stability.
No, for safekeeping, so you don't drop my camera. All right, cool. So you pretty much look through there.
Okay.
That's your waist level viewfinder, so you see her. And then this is your focusing mechanism on your left to make sure it's in focus. And you take your shot by pressing this little button right there.
All right, mademoiselle, I need you to be beautiful. I need you to be flamboyant. Be like a beautiful butterfly, like a flamingo. Hands in the air, the left one blocking the sun, saying, no, no, stop, I like it. Yes, yes, yes. All right, all right.
Oh, that's it. You've taken your shot.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's
the work of art. I think I might be invited to France next year.
No. I think that's my job.
In a competitive, overwhelmingly digital industry, this artist prospers despite choosing to develop his film at a lab and not being represented by a photographic agency.
John, there aren't that many photographers who choose to shoot with film. Why do you prefer analog?
Well, I got introduced to it through a friend of mine, Andile Buka, who actually shot our wedding photos as well.
Yeah.
So when I saw that process and how he was making photos, it was something I've never seen before. And I always wondered how he did it until I got a film camera for myself and started experimenting. And from there, I fell in love with it because it was just a process that made me more intentional as an artist, as a creative. And I felt like it was important for me to take my work that's more seriously.
Would you consider your work fine art?
Definitely. I think my work leans more to the fine art side more than the fashion or commercial side because it's literally consumed for a very niche market. It's not made for like the masses or anything, but it's definitely on the fine art side of things, yeah.
The aim of this approach is to have his images perceived as art and exhibited in galleries.
Have a look. This is incredible. I don't even want to touch it. It's so delicate.
This is so awesome.
And the colors pop so much. It's so rich. I love the contrast.
Oh, look at this. Beautiful,
Girl,
right?
are you ever tired of looking at yourself?
No, not like this. Not like this.
It's romantic. It's beautiful. And this is your shot.
Oh, it's a masterpiece. Beautiful. Look at it. Look at it. You know?
You know what I'll say? It's abstract.
Yes, this is fine art. This is fine art.
It's fine art. It's beautiful.
Magnifique. You know, since you have a keen eye and you see things with a different perspective, I've got a unique space that I'd like to show you.
Oh, really?
When John quit his day job to focus on art, their finances were turned upside down, but Itumeleng kept him going. They could relate to someone whose own creative statement was to build this upside-down house near Hartbeespoort. It's managed by Renee Cronje.
It's quite incredible.
It's amazing.
Hey, Renee, how are you?
Hey.
Thank you. Renee, this place is incredible. Finally, South Africa can brag about our very own upside-down house. Where did the idea come from?
So the idea came from a Polish guy who's from Europe. The first upside-down house was built in Poland, and he brought the idea in. He saw a gap in the market. He searched for this property for about a year, and he saw the background. You'll see from the outside there's a nice mountain view, and yes, so he thought, let's do this, and this is where it all started.
It's clear that this is a paradise for photographers to experiment with different angles and styles.
Definitely. You know, people come in here, photographers, normal people, the public, they come in here, they take such creative photos. You say they're so innovative. They blow us away. You know, I think I know all the angles, and then they come with their awesome photos. So yes, it is.
Building a house this unique must have had its own challenges.
Yes, it definitely did have its own challenges. A lot of people think that the house was built the normal way around and then flipped, but it's not the case. The house was built from the roof up. And you know, building a house like this, you have to think the other way around. From the ceilings to because the floor is actually the ceiling and the ceiling is actually the floor. And the cornices, you know, everything is to be flipped, you know, the other way around. So it does have its own challenges.
Whether he liked it or not, John was about to find a second muse in his viewfinder.
I'm gonna do a handstand and put my feet up here. Let's see if those yoga lessons and the yoga YouTube videos that I was just watching work. All right, let's go. Okay, so first things first, the fact that this thing is upside down. There.
All right, cool. 3, 2, 1.
I can't even do this.
All right. Now that I'm the right way around, guys, I can't be doing this by myself. What do you think of this location?
I think it's amazing. I'm just a bit out of my element. Like all this furniture upside down is really messing my mind up. But it was a really cool experience. I think this is really cool. But I'll just leave it to the Instagram guys. I mean.
Talking about Instagram, I think, you know what they say, it doesn't happen unless it's on the gram. All right, do you mind taking us a picture?
Yeah, sure, let me take
Cool.
But we've got to do something. We've got to make something happen.
Oh, all right, cool.
All right,
we'll just do some fun stuff.
Yeah, just some fun stuff.
All right.
Bye.
It's okay for this talented photographer to feel a bit out of his element here. He never wants to be comfortable with his work and prefers the idea of constantly challenging himself, steadily bringing his audience around to see the world as he does.
And yes, the most played track in the Upside Down House is Lionel Richie's Dancing on the Ceiling.
Coming up, model Marla Bryan expands her doll line, makes women's fashion her new canvas, and opens a Caribbean eatery.
the best of the good life.
St. Lucia's Mala Bryan makes headlines with everything she does. A queen of the catwalk and the creative force behind a hit range of young girls' dolls, most recently opened a Creole dining restaurant, bringing the best of Caribbean island cooking back home to Africa.
Mala launched her range of representative girls' dolls 4 years ago. It was modeling which brought her to South Africa, but an entrepreneurial and socially minded nature which saw her setting up this enterprise. One which we're happy to report is flourishing.
Mala, the last time we met, you had just launched your Malaville dolls. How's that journey been going?
Actually has been an amazing adventure. Since then, I've launched 4 new dolls: Viv, Lola, Imani, and Alexa. Alexa is actually very special to me because she's actually a doll with albinism.
What inspired this creation?
Kids with albinism did not have dolls that represented them, and because my brand is about representation in the doll world, I figured I should just design Alexa and give kids with albinism a beautiful doll that represents them.
And I see each doll comes with their own unique set of clothing to match their personality.
Yes, they do. Every doll has a story. We have flight attendants, we've got a magazine editor, Alexa's an artist, Viv is a photographer. I'm still representing for the creatives in the current collection, actually.
Mala designs and makes the dolls' outfits, as well as her own sheer collection of women's wear.
Fashion is clearly one of your many talents, and after winning back-to-back Best Dressed titles at the Met, you've now started your own line.
Well, I am working on a fashion line, and winning the Met was actually quite something last year and this year because I love a theme party. And this year it was precious metals, and I went and I was home and actually found a gold hat of my grandmother, and that's actually what inspired me to make that dress, and I won it. So it was quite something for me.
Is there any chance of us getting a little sneak peek of that line?
I've actually prepared something special for you for today, but you just can't mess it up, all right? So, I'll show you one of the things I'm working on. I started painting on fabric.
This is incredible. I love this look, but how on earth did you actually achieve it?
All right, I'll show you. This is your spot right here.
Okay. Are we just gonna go straight in?
No. I don't trust you that much, so can we practice on some paper first?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, cool. All right, I set it up already for you.
At school, this hands-on creative studied building construction and woodwork, aiming to become an architect. Ultimately, architecture's loss was the fashion industry's gain.
Top Billing's about to make history and become a part of your new fashion line. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this, people.
Yes.
Yeah!
Put one here as well.
History has been made.
Woohoo!
What do you think?
Awesome, I like it.
I do too.
It feels a bit complete now.
When do you know that you've finished your creation?
That is actually a very tough thing to answer because you always feel like you can add something more to it. So, when I get tired.
What inspired this look?
It really is unexplainable, but it's like I just go into the zone, I go into Malaville. That's actually how the name came about. Malaville is like, my creative space in my mind. So I go into Malaville and I just feel like, I just feel things and I just come out and give it a shot.
So listen, we've got an incredibly beautiful model, a gorgeous outfit, and I think all we need is a runway now.
No, that's all we need.
Should we do this?
Let's do this.
After Mala made her first trip to South Africa to work on her modeling portfolio, it proved such a success that she's returned here almost every season for 12 years.
Just like Naomi Campbell and Kate Moss, you were also in the right place at the right time and you were scouted for a modeling job while just running day-to-day errands.
It was actually quite something, and it was like, the moment that changed my life, and got a whisk away to Paris, did a competition for my first time I was on stage, and I won a modeling contract.
Now I know you're based in Miami, but you're often coming back to Cape Town. What is it about this place that draws you back?
It's a beautiful place, and I have a lot of work here. My businesses are based here at the moment, and it's actually a really good place for models to be as well. Also, it reminds me of Miami a lot, and the reason why I'm based in Miami is because it's very close to home. That's in the Caribbean, so Cape Town reminds me a bit of home.
She believes in this second home so much that she's invested in opening an Afro-Caribbean eatery at Botanic Social House, opposite the Company Gardens in central Cape Town.
Well, I believe you started cooking at the age of 7, and already by 8 years old, you almost mastered it all together. Is that the reason why you started the restaurant?
Yeah, my granny was a street vendor, and I had to help her all the time. So I mastered grilling at the age of 7. And because I was a very picky eater, they would tell me I should cook my own food, and just with assisting and everything like that, and I love learning new things, so I was able to watch and observe, see how she cooked her stuff, and then just took over from there.
That's good.
Working in her grand's street kitchen after music concerts and sports games made her quite the chef.
Okay, so I'm actually going to be making for you my national dish from the Caribbean island of St. Lucia. It's stewed saltfish with boiled green bananas, but we actually call green bananas figs.
Figs?
Yeah, so it will be green figs and saltfish.
Okay, does it taste anything like a fig?
No, it does not. It actually tastes like potatoes.
Okay, awesome. So what is the first step?
Okay, so the first step is to boil the green bananas. So you need bananas that are extremely green, that has not gone into a ripening room, so they would be extremely, extremely hard. Yeah. And this is just like, it's not part of the dish, but it's plantains, but I just want to show the difference between a banana and a plantain.
A banana and a plantain?
Plantain is like the cousin of banana.
Ah, okay, I never knew
Same
that.
family, but yeah.
Let's begin.
Yeah, that's it.
Sure do.
Okay. The banana's already cooking. Have a look.
Wow, that smells good.
I know.
Is that just banana? Can't be.
Just the bananas with a little bit of vinegar and salt.
It smells like a warm biscuit. It's weird.
I know, it's crazy to think that it's actually green bananas. To start this dish, I'm gonna heat up some coconut oil, because you get like a nice nutty flavor from there. Saute some onions, peppers, and garlic. For about 5 minutes or so, then you put in the saltfish, and then you add the thyme, the chives, and a bit of salt. Funny enough, saltfish, you have to remove the salt, but when you're cooking it, you need to add a bit of salt. And then, you just allow it to saute a little bit, and that's the dish.
It was the Portuguese who brought plantains to the Caribbean. They're also a staple in West Africa and are seldom eaten raw.
So the super, super ripe plantains, when you fry them, they'll be very soft because of the sugar content in there. So they'll start caramelizing, but they're actually my favorite and really, really good.
Well, I've never tried any of this before, so I cannot wait to get this onto a plate and get it dished. So what is the next step?
Next step is eating.
Oh, yes.
While green plantains have the flavor of potatoes, once they've fully ripened, they taste more like a dessert.
How's that?
I love it. It's actually very sweet.
Yeah.
Like a sweet chip.
It's exactly like a sweet chip.
Although saltfish gets its name from how it's dried and cured, it takes on whatever flavor it's cooked in.
There's so much going on here right now. The first impression I thought I would get was a salty fish, but there's nothing of the sort. There's so many flavors in here. Yeah. I'm blown away. Well done.
Thank you.
Ryle gave it 5 stars.
If there's a recipe for squeezing every precious drop you can out of life, Mala has found it, and she's cooking with gas.
Coming up, removing most of the first floor slab from this house lets the sunshine in to create a light, airy Hamptons-style home.
We've heard 100 times that in property, location is everything. Why? Well, because even if the existing house does not do justice to the location, you can still buy it, bring in some jackhammers, and build a home worthy of the setting, which is what they did right here.
The homeowners chose a blend of the open, light Hamptons look of America's East Coast and the French country house style which influenced it. For architect Frikkie Rautenbach and interior designer Anna Smit, it's a favorite.
This is such a beautiful home. What first attracted the owners to this property?
At first, the clients were drawn to the big, lush, open garden space and the well-established trees in the estate. Yes, they enjoyed the existing house, but they realized soon that it's not going to suit the actual needs of the family.
Yes, and Frikkie and his team created the perfect foundations for us to come in as interior designers and fill the client's brief.
The compartment-like living rooms were opened wide to invite the northern sun.
The space is amazing. I love how it brings and allows so much light into the home.
The large glazing facade creates this harmony to the house and invites people to enjoy the great views and the features of the house.
Yeah, the double volume that Frikkie and his company created is absolutely stunning, but it also meant that we had to have a lot of the furniture pieces and the art custom-made because you simply cannot buy the scale in the shops. We started off with 2 items that the client specified that she absolutely must have, and then we built it up from there. And those 2 items are the pink sofa and that beautiful oversized floral painting by Kim Black that was also custom-made for the space.
Removing the old staircase and 80% of the first floor slab allowed for both expansive entertaining and cozy family areas.
The open plan allows for a beautiful flow through the whole house.
It does, doesn't it just?
And the main feature was to also create the same window spaces that we have at the double volume also throughout to the kitchen space. It was important for the client to have a lot of light still flowing into the kitchen area as well as throughout the house.
These 2 carver dining chairs are just 2 of my favorite pieces in the house. The legs are quite masculine, the framework, and then it's contrasted with the delicate floral print. And I think that is what we try to achieve with the design, is to continuously contrast bold and masculine with the softness of pink and florals, and it just gets pulled through and it works.
This wooden table was made to order, paired with dining chairs the family brought from Australia.
The client requested a master chef kitchen where he's got large open space to prepare his food and overlooking the rest of the entertainment space.
Finally, a center island that is big enough for me. Oh, I feel at home here. And I love how it complements the little details of gold and touches and make it so elegant.
We pulled the gold elements through from the formal lounge in the entrance, and the little gold details on the lights as well as on the stove dictated that we had to use gold handles throughout the cabinetry.
The statement kitchen still manages to include a cozy breakfast nook and a signature pink kettle. From here, they went split level with impressive effect.
This is where we come to my favorite part of the house, where we link from the master chef kitchen to the outside Boma area through the lounge area and overlooking the bar space.
We had to transition from this space into the much more masculine bar area. So we positioned this beautiful lounge club chair to take you from this area into man's world down there. Harmony, I don't know if you noticed the little details that actually make up the bigger picture here. Like the spiral legs of these gorgeous 2 chairs that you only get through custom-made stuff. And then the timber elements in the bar were done to just bring some of the timber color from the kitchen through to echo in the bar. It's just to create that flow in a home, and it gives you breathing space because everything is harmonious.
That's an interesting wine cellar. It's the first time I've seen one that is exposed to the public. Usually it's in like a different room.
The main thing for this was still to have the client involved with his family and friends instead of really going down into a submerged cellar below ground.
Is that a Boma I see?
Definitely Harmony. And a feature of the Boma was also incorporating these little elements of lighting below the seating area of the Boma, as well as the stone cladding, as you can see repeating throughout the house on the exterior.
I've noticed that the theme of French provincial style continues even into the patio.
A wraparound patio is created, connecting all the living spaces all the way throughout towards the Boma space.
We also had the furniture custom made for the space, but we created different areas for different uses. A day bed for reading your book, or a nice family meal al fresco, or even just a little table for tea for 2.
I can definitely see myself spending a lot of time out here.
And how about the lap pool? The lap pool is also heated and protected with seamless glass balustrading, preventing the little ones to actually go into the pool while the owner is not watching.
Well, if the pool is heated, then I think it's time for us to...
I
think hold on to that a little bit.
Let's first go upstairs. There's more to see.
Definitely. Let's go show you around.
They're not any fun.
Being the daughter of parents in the interiors business, Anna lived through 10 home makeovers as a child, so this is second nature.
Every son's hobbies and interests were portrayed in their rooms so they can express themselves in their spaces. And the client was very much involved in selecting the individual wallpapers for every room and the different elements. So in this room we have the aeroplanes, in the next room dogs. The middle child is very, very enamored with animals in general. And then the baby boy, he just loves also camping and the outdoors. It was a lot of fun doing the boys' rooms.
Their parents opted for all-out luxury and strong French influences.
This is my kind of bedroom.
Yes, definitely, Harmony. One of the main ideas for the client was to have a large open bedroom space with the lounge seating area overlooking the garden space. But in winter times, what do you need? You need a nice fireplace. Yeah. Especially a fireplace like this heats up a large bedroom space where you have a separate dressing room as well as a large bathroom area.
What we did here was just to create an oasis of calm, basically. Soft textures, some velvets. What we also did was to layer a very thick pulp rug over the bedroom carpet just to create that very comforting, cocooning feeling. We also incorporated some of the black tiles into the bathroom just to carry through the black elements that you find downstairs into the space.
Continuing our beautiful French provincial style.
Exactly, that's what we aimed for.
I think I feel at home here, but there's something that is calling me. The swimming pool.
Of course. Boys will be boys.
Right.
I think I will go join you.
The original breezy Hamptons architecture is designed for an expansive feeling of being in the scenery. And that's just what Frikkie and Anna have achieved.
The moment I've been waiting for, to dip into the pool.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, such a beautiful day, but where's Anna?
I have no idea what happened to her.
Oh well, boys' day then.
Let's go have it.
Weaning children and adults off smart devices and into an active lifestyle can be simple.
When homeowners see the grass and trees as just as big an investment as the bricks and cement, that to me is a healthy property market.
Next up, after going up against the planet's best, Fez makes the top 12 at Mr. World, and he's not about to stop there.
Not since Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier went toe-to-toe in the Thriller in Manila has the Philippines capital seen such a bout. 72 contenders each entered the ring for the coveted title of Mr. World 2019, with our very own top-billing presenter Fez Mkhize carrying the hope of our nation.
Having beaten a strong field to win Mr. World South Africa, Fez hit the ground running in Manila, and John was there to support him.
Hey, look who it is. Hey, bro.
Brother, I made it, dude.
You actually did. Oh my goodness. It's like you read my mind.
You're missing home. Tell me what's been happening, dude.
So much. Goodness, it's been a crazy 3 weeks.
You couldn't be happy with just sexiest man in South Africa. You had to come all the way over here to the Philippines and conquer the world, bro.
You know what it is, man? I think they've never had an African come in and win it. And I really wanted to try fly our flag and also just take some of that African flair across to the Philippines and see what we can do.
And of course, being the overachiever that he is, he's already been fast-tracked to the top 12. How did that happen?
It is insane. So, I mean, I'm not competitive at all. I'm very mellow. So there was a beep test, so the fitness test that kind of whittled us down to 24, and then from there we swam. I didn't come last. That's the good thing. That's actually the biggest prize I've had so far, is that I didn't come last. I came third. And then we did the basketball challenge, which I won, and I won my races. And then we finally had one head-to-head moment where I made it to the semifinals, and then I won the whole thing overall.
It's intense, eh?
It's crazy. It's probably one of the hardest things I've had to do thus far in my life, but it's so rewarding because all the guys are just so amazing, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna meet some of them and you're gonna hear amazing things about me.
I'm nervous. It's top 12, bro.
I know.
Top 12 of Mr. World already. How hectic is that? Are you like, no, there must be nerves.
I don't get nervous.
You'd lie, I can see it in your eyes. I know you.
He knows me. That's why I wanted him here.
Finalists included engineers, nurses, even a rocket scientist. Julia Morley's job wouldn't be easy.
Now, you're chairman of the judging panel. What are those judges looking for tonight? What are the traits we need in a Mr. World?
Just to be human and to be honest about being kind. It's hard to say beauty with a purpose, but why not? Men are beautiful, women are beautiful. So beauty with a purpose is beauty perhaps of the heart. And when you're with guys for 3 weeks to a month, you learn a lot. We try to choose a cross-section of people, and anyone who comes in the top 12 could be Mr. World.
Okay, we got Wayne, Mr. Island here. Apparently you and Fez are neck and neck in a lot of the challenges. You're one of the favourites. You're one of the only two that's been fast-tracked to the top 12. Yeah. So how's it been going up against our man?
It's been intense, I won't lie. Your guy is a phenomenal athlete. We've had a good running rivalry along with a few more of the guys in the sports especially.
Is that Irish luck a thing? You think it's going to help you tonight?
Well, let's hope so, let's hope so. We'll see in about 2 hours' time.
We're meeting all types of Mr. World, yeah. Those guys are very confusing because he's Mr. Canada with a South African accent and he speaks a bit of Zulu. So what's going on here, bro? And his name's Alessandro.
So I grew up to an Italian mum and a Canadian dad. They moved to Cape Town when they were really young. But what was really important is that I grew up in South Africa, but I moved to Canada a couple of years ago. And you see, my boy...
You see, Jono, you need to learn how to speak Zulu now, because I feel like I found another wingman.
Speak a bit of Zulu, bro. Sawubona.
Sawubona, really? He goes with Sawubona.
Unjani.
Okay, I'm actually impressed. I like him again. I like him. He never speaks Zulu to me. I feel like I've got two brothers now.
I learned it for you, bro. So how are you guys feeling, man? It's so close now.
You know what, at the end of the day, I've made brothers and I've made friends all over the world, so I'm feeling absolutely amazing. Like, I'm super pumped. I looked at Fez and I was like, holy smokes, that guy looks amazing. And he's basically like, I don't even know what doctor you are. You're just like all the doctors in one, so it's really cool. You're smart, you're very, very funny. At the best of times, yeah, I see.
I see you got a bit of a black eye there. Have you been fighting with the guys behind the scenes, or what's the story?
No, actually not. I'm a professional karate fighter, but that's don't come from my karate. And I did those small operations here. The Fez really helped me, my doctor.
Oh, Dr. Fez helped you?
Yeah, where are my... Hey, doctor! Doctor! Please come here. Look.
Unbelievable. I can't get rid of you. You're just gonna... Every one of my interviews are gonna rock up somehow, dude.
Another one of my patients.
Please, just check that. Are everything okay for the show?
I mean, as you guys can see, he was actually having an issue, but I mean, I did that.
Yeah, a lot of makeup. Come on, man. Seriously?
Mr. Ghana, you're looking really, really slick, my brother.
Oh, thank you very much. And you're also looking classy.
There's clearly no nerves with you. You're feeling very relaxed. The big night's here. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling comfortable. I'm feeling cool. I'm feeling, simple. Because, we all came here as strangers. But we are living here as family. That's what matters.
Yeah. That's why we love Ghana, man. It's all about love, eh?
All about love.
I love your outfit.
Thank you so much.
Are you feeling very patriotic today? You're going to represent your country?
Yeah. To keep my national flag high, this is one of my things to do in the States, I'm feeling very proud right now.
Yeah. All the colors from around the world. This is a beautiful moment for everybody. Our man's ready. Can you see our man's ready? I'm feeling so patriotic right now, bro.
They said that I had to go with my culture, and I thought, what would be more apt than a Zulu warrior? And I don't know, man. I think I'm pulling it off, John.
I feel like we might be at a rugby game here. We got the tunnels leading out to the stage. I feel like you're going to run out there and just start chanting.
I'm going out there, I've got the country in my heart, and I feel like I'm representing SA. I mean, I might just be the next Springbok if they need a call-out.
Listen, the way things are going for you, I don't even put it past you. Anything is possible for you at the moment, bro.
The best bet was to be yourself, as every judge had their own criteria, like image consultant Andrew Minerick.
We're catching up with one of the judges behind the scenes here. We're backstage. That explains all the blinking lights behind us. What are you looking for in tonight's contestants?
Basically, the guy that can have the whole package, that can be the ambassador, just somebody that's an all-round guy that literally can compose themselves, confident, humble and real and natural.
Katerina, you're the current Miss World Philippines. You've been on the stage, you know what to look forward to. What are those gents going through right now?
Well, I'm actually shocked because this is the first time that I've seen 72 gorgeous guys all in one place. And I think it's just more showcasing what every country has in terms of like their most desired men and the talents they have, the intelligence that they have, and what really comes from their heart.
Have you got a favorite?
I kind of do. I have a little soft spot actually for South Africa. He's so polite. He's gorgeous. When he walks into the room, he's kind of one of the first guys you really notice.
Well, let me tell you, that's common for all South African men.
Yeah?
So I'm just going to let you know.
Well, so far he got a 2 out of 2.
Maureen, you are host tonight. You look absolutely beautiful. Can we look forward to many more beautiful outfits like this tonight?
Yes, of course. Right now I'm wearing the beautiful Filipino designer Leo Amodal.
What are some of the things we can look forward to tonight?
Well, we have some of the world's most desirable men, so I can't wait to see them modeling their suits and their swimwear. And my favorite portion is always the Q&A portion.
That's when the pressure starts, right?
Yes, that's when you see the personality, that's when you see the nerves, and you see the men rise above from the boys.
You're actually the longest running Mr. World they've ever had because the contest was actually skipped last year.
Yeah, I guess I've been lucky. I could reign with 4 Miss Worlds, plus I can be a part of the organization which does so many initiatives for people, for serving people. I'm incredibly honored to be a part of the Mr. World organization and the things they do.
It's a little bittersweet though, because you've had the crown for that much longer. It's going to make it harder to give it up.
Yes, but then some certain things are certain. The legacy has to go forward. So I'm happy about whoever makes it tonight. And I really wish the contestant makes even more progress, the brand even more bigger.
Second place for Mr. World is South Africa.
It was evident to anyone there that our doctor was the crowd favorite, but the judges got to decide.
So, are you happy with our winner?
I am very happy with our winner. I think actually all the boys did such an incredible job. I've been here from day one with them, and they have all grown on me. And I genuinely wish I could have given Mr. World 2019 to all of them.
South Africa was so close.
He was so close, and you know what? He was such a wonderful representative. And honestly, in the future, there's the future Mr. South Africa contestants, he's the person to admire. He's the person to look up to.
Our current Miss World, you look absolutely beautiful tonight, first of all, let me say that.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very happy the event just finished, and I have lots of emotions inside.
You've been through what the guys have been through. What can Mr. World look forward to now this year?
An amazing year of adventures, of touching people's hearts, and to get to see and know the world better.
So close, hey? He was so close.
What can you do, John? What can you do? I think to almost everybody here in this arena and to us, he's the real winner. I think Fez represented our country and our continent amazingly. There is nothing he could have done better, and I'm so proud of him.
Absolutely. Well, it's amazing that you came all the way out to support him.
Oh, of course. I mean, he's my number one. Where else would I be?
Jack, congratulations. Has it all sunk in yet?
I'll be honest, it's still... I have to remind myself that, wow, you're not dreaming, Jack. This is actually happening. You are Mr. World. All that work that you put into this, you've made it.
What do you hope to achieve during your reign, and what causes are you passionate about?
Before I visited here, my cause was about helping sick children back in England. So I want to really continue with that cause, and I want to take some of the learnings that I've had from the Baloyi Foundation back to the UK and see if there's anything that we can do in a similar way.
You're a role model to a lot of young gentlemen at the moment, so what are some of the messages you can give to all those youngsters who want to follow in your footsteps?
I would encourage them to try to become as well-rounded as possible, try as many things as they possibly can. My parents used to say to me when I was a kid that variety is the spice of life. I've really taken that advice in my life, so and it's come up, it's done pretty well.
Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing the amazing work that you're going to do.
Thank you.
As Fez's personal motto goes, every day you wake up average, so work hard and go to bed great. Words he'd lived up to whilst making friends on every continent.
What a crazy night though, man. From the moment you came out in that Zulu attire, you owned that stage, man. We knew we were in for a show.
Having worn that attire, it made me feel like I was representing every single person back home. And I won't even lie, that last kick that I did, I might have pulled something, but I think I gave it everything in that one kick. I feel like it was right there, and I gave it all I could, so I'm actually very happy.
And of course, you got the responsibility of the African continent now on your shoulders, bro.
I do, and I mean, coming here, that was the biggest thing, I think, for me, was to make sure that Africa was put on the map, that I could represent all of us as best as I can, because I know how much of a responsibility that is. So, yeah, I guess you're right. I'm quite happy with being Mr. World Africa.
Well, I know everyone out there is super proud of you. You literally, he could not do anything more. You did it all, you laid it all on the line, you represented us proudly.
What, Jono?
And you've done incredibly well, brother.
It's gonna make me cry, but thank you, bro.
So proud of this guy.
On behalf of my brother Fez, to all our sister nations, Mr. World Africa will spend his year honoring the entire continent. Until next week, good night, God bless Africa and all her children.
Join us now on #TopBilling for your thoughts on Simone de Jongh's gorgeous dress. John and Itumeleng going old school in a digital age. What absolutely made tonight's location? And what do you feel about our new Mr. World Africa?